Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Kinderlech. Shabbat Shalom to all of you watching us online today. So today is a family service, and we have Beiteinu with us. And it's always a pleasure to be with you in the synagogue and to pray together and to sing together. So we start on page 2. So we have the family service booklet, page 2, Matovu. Please stand. Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. Vahani tefilati lecha Adonai. Sorry, I think I've skipped one verse. Vahani. Okay, so Dov razdecha avo veitecha Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Vahani tefilati lecha et chatzon Elohim berov razdecha aneni be'emet ishecha Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. On page 3.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for eyes to see.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for clothes to wear.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the joy of freedom.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the joy, for the power to rise.
We praise you, God, eternally. We praise you, God, eternal. No, we praise you, God, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for providing for all our needs.
You're on the wrong page.
We praise you,
Eternal and God,
eternal of God,
sovereign of the universe,
sovereign of the universe,
for daily
renewing
our strength.
our strength.
Well done. And then everybody.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day.
Thank you. On page 4, Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Tov leodot לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון בחינוך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון כי שימרתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך ארנן מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד ומחשבותיך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון. On page 5, please rise. ברכו את אדוני המבורר ברוך אדוני המבורר לעולם ועד. Please be seated.
We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, Maker of light and Creator of darkness, Author of peace and Creator of all things. In your mercy, you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness, you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, Creator of light.
Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach. With love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching. Make us faithful to your commandments and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people of Israel to serve you.
Please stand. Bottom of page 7. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Vahed. On page 8, let's read together the English, shall we? So we can really understand what the Shema is about. You shall love the Eternal One, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Let these words which I command you this day be always in your heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be like frontlets between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gate. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Please be seated.
Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. The everlasting God is sovereign, the rock of Jacob, the shield of salvation. Eternal God, you redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then, with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song.
I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I've been waiting the michamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mikamocha, nedar b'kodesh, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. I'll be waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I'll be waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I'll be waiting in the velvet sea, whoa, whoa. I'll be waiting in the sea.
The redeemed sang a new song to your name at the shore of the sea. Saved from destruction, they acknowledge your sovereign power by saying,
Adonai Yimlo Leolam Vaed.
O Rock of Israel, keep your people Israel. For you, God of the hosts of heaven, are our Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Baruch atah Ga'al Yisrael. Got that.
Please stand. We are reading the Amidah now, which is on page 10. Page 10, yep. You just turn the page. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth shall declare your praise. Do you have readings for okay.
We praise you, Eternal One, our God. We praise you, Eternal One, our God and God of our ancestors, God of Abraham and God of Isaac, God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah. Great and mighty, awesome and exalted God, you deal kindly with us and embrace us all. You remember the faithfulness of our ancestors and in love bring redemption to their children's children for the sake of your name. You are our sovereign and helper, our redeemer and shield. We praise you, O God, shield of Abraham and Sarah. Unending is your might, Eternal One. You are the source of all life. Great is your power to redeem. You cause the wind to blow and the rain to fall, the sun to shine and the dew to descend.
מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. Trusting in you, we see all life. We praise you, O God, source of all life. We sanctify your name on earth as in the prophet's vision, the host of heaven sing your praise above. So it is written, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz kevodo. Kevodo male olam. Baruch kevod Adonai mimekomo. From your concealment, majestic one, reveal yourself and rule over us, for you are our hope. Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Tzion, ledor vador. Alleluia. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid God lecha, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid God lecha. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. ושברך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ושברך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. And let's read together in English the next blessing. Those who keep the Sabbath and call it a delight taste the joy and redemption. The people who hallow the seventh day delight in your goodness, for it pleased you to set this day apart, that you may cherish it above all other days, and pause to remember that the world is your creation.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify by us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of the Sabbath into our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. Baruch atah Adonai Mekah Deish HaShabbat.
Oh.
Eternal God,
Be gracious to
be gracious to
the people Israel,
the people Israel,
and in your love
and in your love,
accept their prayers.
accept their prayers.
May our worship
May our worship
now and always be
now and always be
acceptable in your sight.
acceptable in your sight.
Very dark.
We praise you, O God, who alone we worship in reverence.
Yes. So we say on page 13 the Modima Nachnu Lach together in English. We give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you were the God of ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. So, we are going to go straight into the Torah service today. So, the Torah service starts on page 15, and I will just explain to you a bit what we're going to do now. Do you know what Shabbat is today? Do you remember the name of this Shabbat? Of this parasha, the Torah portion? I mean, if you haven't heard it, it's fine. It's called Miketz. Miketz. And it falls in a special festival for us. What's the festival? The Latkes festival, the Sufganiot festival? Hanukkah. Huh? Hanukkah, exactly. So it's called Shabbat Hanukkah. This is why we're going to have a little activity later about the 8 candles. You see that I've already prepared it for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon we have the last day of Hanukkah. We have a celebration here with friends, with members of the synagogue and friends coming to join us. So it's already prepared for them. So, of course, on Shabbat Hanukkah, we read a Torah portion which is Miketz, which is almost at the end of the book of Genesis, and I will lay in for you the first few verses. So, please stand. We're on page 16. Can I have 2 people to open the ark, 1 person to take the scroll out? It's quite heavy. Ve'aherneinu beToratecha, can you stand it? Ve'einu b'mitzvotecha, ve'yachel levaveinu le'ahava u'lehira et shemecha. Alberto, could you come and take the scroll, please? So we take this one, the one on the right, and you sit. So remember that when we never turn our back to the ark, so when now you close the ark again, yes, and then you sit. Okay, please be seated. I'm going to explain, remember a bit what we're doing. So come here, stay. So, you know what? Do you know how this is called? It's called rimonim. So it's kind of little bells. So when the Torah walks around in the synagogue, we can hear it. So it's a bit high. So I'm going to do it myself because we haven't thought about our shorter members when we did that. So you know how this object is called? Yeah, it has a name. What's that? What's this? It's a hand. Do you remember how we say hand in Hebrew? Yad. Yad. So it's called a yad. And do you know why we have a yad?
So that we don't actually capture the times God because it's so ancient.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very good. Okay. Can you put this on the beamer over there? Because I'm going to read after. And do you know how this object is called? What do you put on you when you go out in the winter? How is it called? A coat? There's another word. A jumper? Yes. That's a jumper.
Jacket?
Yeah, it's a kind of a jacket. It's a bit longer than a jacket because it covers everything. It's a cloak. Gosh, there's another word. Do you? No, you don't use this word every day. Because in French we say manteau. Manteau is a mantle, and it's also it's not in use. Okay, so it's called a mantle, huh? Because we want to protect the Torah scroll.
Why don't we give that one? Take it.
And then we have this bit to keep it close. So Alberto will put it on the Torah, on the bima, and I will make some space for you.
Maybe your glasses.
Yes. I need that. Okay. Thank you. So, in a few years' time, you will have your bar and bat mitzvah. So this will be your working tool. You will read from that. So look how it is. I need to find the right place, because can you see anything? I'm a bit messy today, guys, so sorry about that. So, you see, that's the Torah scroll. And we'll do with the others later. Where when we dress the scroll, I will show you the same things. So you're my dressers for later. So we need to find the right place. So what happens, we learn the passage, so that's Hebrew, without the vowels, so you don't know how to pronounce it if you don't have the vowels, but you learn the passage. And the passage is called Miketz, and we just need to find it. Where is Miketz? It's not the Vayehi Miketz Natayim.
You might have to roll out the whole scroll.
No, because, the beginning of the scroll is here. That's the book of Genesis. And if over the year we scroll it, the other way, at the end of the year, this part is completely thin and this part is really big. But it takes 12 months to do it.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's quite a long piece of paper.
So to write it takes a year.
Yeah.
It takes a year.
12 months is a year.
Yeah, 12 months is a year, yes. So I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if you go on that. If you look at that. Vayehi, Miket. Yes, here, yes. So that's the start of the portion I'm going to read now for you. Okay? Okay, so you can stay around me. And we're going to say together the blessing before the Torah reading. If you don't mind, I just need to get closer to it. You can't stay here. I won't see. So if you could just go, you can take the little stool if you want, but you have to move on the side. Yes. So what I'm using, I'm using a text with the vowels and also the sign of cantillation to try to read it properly. So who is reading the blessing? Sandra, okay. Are you safe? Are you okay? Yeah? It's okay. There's no, yeah.
I just get it.
Yeah.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So, because I know this, I can read this, but sometimes I also need to refer back to that so I don't make a mistake, okay? Vayehi miketz v'natayim yamim ופרעה חולם, והנה עומד על היאור. והנה מן היאור עולות 7 פרות, יפות מראה ובריאות בשר. ותראנה באחו. והנה 7 פרות אחרות עולות עריהן מן היהור, רעות מראה ודקות בשר, ותעמודנה אצל הפחות על שפת היהור, ותאכלנה הפרות רעות המראה ודקות הבשר, את 7 הפרות יפות המראה והבריות, ויקץ פרעה. So of course the text says something. ויהי מקץ 2 ימים, and it happens after the end of 2 days. ופרעה חולם. You better like this? Okay. And Pharaoh was dreaming, והנה עומד על היאור, and he was standing near the river. And look, behold, I don't know how to say this in modern English. Anyway, behold, where am I? Behold what? מן היאור עולות 7 פרות יפות מראה. So from the river came up 7 beautiful cows, very healthy cows. You can imagine, they're really, really beautiful. ותראינה באחו, they were eating the grass. והנה 7 פרות אחרות, and then 7 other cows came, ugly cows, completely thin, came from the river. They were really not beautiful at all. And they stood next to the other 7 cows near the river. And the ugly and bad cows ate the 7 beautiful cows. It's mean, huh? It's really mean. And then Pharaoh woke up because it was a dream. So it didn't really happen. It just happened in his dream. Oof, huh? So, and of course there will be another dream after that. There's another dream.
And another one.
Yeah, but Joseph, Joseph will explain this dream. And do you remember what Joseph will say?
No.
So he will say that the 7, yes?
I don't remember the words exactly, but I know that I think that he says these dreams will come to life sometime.
Yes, absolutely. So these dreams will explain what happened in the future. So the 7 beautiful cows represent 7 years of plentiful bounty for Egypt. And the 7 ugly and thin cows represent 7 years of famine. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, darling, and I didn't say that, but you better get ready, because after 7 years of loads of good crops and food, you will have 7 years of famine. And then Pharaoh listened to Joseph, and Joseph became the prime minister because he was efficient. Huh? I mean, not all.
Just like
yeah, because he showed that he was good, and Pharaoh trusted him because he managed to tell him to explain what the dream was about. Yes, please, yes. Amen. So, Beiteinu, the other group, can you come here? Can I have someone to take the scroll and to sit over there? I don't know. Yes? Okay. So, I'm just read this passage, if you see. ויהי מקץ 2 ימים ופרעה חולם והנה עומד על היאור. It's not difficult, I promise you. Just need to know a bit of Hebrew, and anyway, you study this kind of sheet first with all the vowels, all the signs that indicates how to read. So anytime you see this, this line and 2 dots, it's La 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 la. This one, la la la, la 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 la. It's like music. It's, it's very, very easy. So when you do your bar mitzvah, I want you to learn from the scroll. I'm really trying to encourage. So, Sava. Oh, sorry. So, you're gonna. Can you help them to dress the scroll? So, you can take the scroll and sit over there, and you will dress the scroll again. Do you know how this is called?
It's a yad.
A yad, right? It's interesting you said a yud, right? The yud is this little letter. It's not written the same, but there's just one.
Yud is a letter.
The yud is a letter, yes.
Yeah, it's that. It's a
Yeah, it's a
like a comma.
like a comma up there. Yes, really good. Yes, yeah.
Somewhere. Let's
Yeah.
find the yud. There you go. That's the yud then.
That's the yud, yes.
That's the yud.
But I
That's the
never
yad.
thought about that. Yad, the hand, and yud it's in God's name. So there's something with the hand. It's such a precious instrument. It's a very great tool if you think about all the things you can do with the hand. You can create, you can write, you can cook, you can eat. You can also, comment on dit, se moucher, when you sneeze, blow your nose, etc. Okay, so have a seat. Okay.
Right, who's holding this? Oh, hang on a minute. No, you've already got something. Okay,
So
so
you've
we're going to
got
go
that,
dress.
and
1,
then
2,
you
3.
need,
So you need this one.
You need the mantle. So so the coat, the Torah coat. Right. So okay. In the meantime, I will just explain it, but you can also hear me. But today, so remember last month we talked about COP26 and we talked about climate change. And I came across an activity that was prepared by one of my colleagues, Rabbi Sandra Kviat, who is a rabbi in Crouch End, and she prepared something called Sustainable Hanukkah. Sustainable Hanukkah. And she said, why don't you try to find 8, so this is what she wrote as an instruction, choose 8 commitments or actions you can do throughout the year to help combat climate change and write them in the 8 candles. Above the little menorah, in the middle, write down the name of one person. Okay. Now just try to find 8 things we can do for next year. We have pencils over there, and if you want to do it as well, of course, by all means. Are you doing it together? Okay. Doing this together?
You'll come back up in a minute. You'll come back up. Okay.
So, you see, you have the 8 candles of Hanukkah, and I'm going to ask you to think about 8 things we can do next year to tackle climate change. Okay? Okay, so yeah, put this down in writing. I think we have
I've got a box of pencils from England.
pencils. Here you are. You too. So, yeah, you can share. I have. So you can do it together? Okay. Good. So, thank you. Thank you. Okay, think about 8 things we can do to limit global warming. You have it on the screen as well, so think about it and I will read your comments in the Facebook comment section. How's it going? Can you find 8? Is it difficult to find 8? Sorry? Oh, no, I didn't make any money. Ah. Okay, so where are my glasses? I can't find my glasses. Did you see it, Carolyn? Where did you put my glasses?
They were on me. I think you just gone and walked at me. No, they were.
Oh.
I don't. Did you take them in back in there?
Okay, maybe. Yes.
And one who comes to you uses her glasses, I know that.
Always looking for that. Okay, so I'm going to check what people say online. Not much. Nothing. Okay.
I'll take it.
So you have no idea online. Okay, fine. Okay, shall we bring together our IDs and maybe we'll find more than 8? Okay, let's start. Yes.
We use electric cars.
Electric cars, yes. Brilliant.
You can have solar panels.
Solar panels, that's a very good idea, yes.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree, it's always good, absolutely. Adopt animals instead of eating them. yeah, absolutely. So, that's a good idea, absolutely. Being kind to the animals is always, it's so important. Huh? Yes? Only use gas in emergencies. Okay, I don't know how feasible this is, but I think to limit how we use fossil fuels, absolutely agree. Who else? Yes?
Only electric cars. Don't use cars at all.
No cars at all, wow.
Walk or buses.
So buses, because there's more 30 people and if you have 30 cars.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So that's quite radical, but you know, that's, yes?
What have you got?
Yeah, I have to be louder.
No pollution. You have to decrease pollution.
Yes, no pollution. Try to do anything that doesn't produce any form of pollution. Yeah, good. Yes.
Don't use baby wipes because they're bad for the environment.
Gosh, baby wipes are really bad. You're right. Yes. Yes.
Eat less red meat.
Sorry.
Eat less red meat.
Eat less meat. Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, we all have a challenge. Yes.
Don't use plastic bottles.
Don't use plastic bottles. Have a very good idea. Yes. Can I turn to you? Yes.
I've got here recycle more, don't waste food, peel potatoes in a bowl and not under a tap, clean teeth but not under running water, use public transport where possible so you save on petrol, and try to save on eating and light.
Good. Okay. So for those who haven't heard, so let's start again. You recycle more.
Recycle more. So in other words, you have your bins and or you then put things into those boxes that we all get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't waste food.
Don't waste food. Yes. Absolutely.
Joyce's suggestion was peel potatoes in a bowl and not under a tap.
Peel potatoes in a bowl and not under a tap. Running water, yes.
And then we don't have to remember.
Absolutely. It's true, we tend to have the tap open and not stop it when...
So I put clean teeth. I mean, there's a tendency when you're cleaning your teeth to let the tap run. But instead of the tap running, turn the tap off, clean your teeth, and just rinse them with glass of water.
Yeah, it's the same idea of not letting running water. Yes, okay.
So use public transport where possible.
Public transport, yes. Yeah.
Try to save on heating and lighting.
Heating and lighting. Okay. Do you have any... Thank you. Do you have anything else to add? Yes.
Turn off the light when you leave the room.
Yes, turn off the light when you leave a room. Absolutely. Don't overshop. That's clever. Don't overshop. I like it. It's very hard. Yes?
When you're clothes on fit, you can pass on to or you can pass on to a charity shop.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can pass your clothes to or books or something you don't use. Yes?
Sometimes single people, possibly couples, buy a few more underclothes so that you don't do a machine wash until you've got the amount the machine will need.
Yeah, the use of absolutely. The use of machine.
Because they've got to use the machine anytime because they have masses of things to wash, but
Yeah.
single people often don't. And you run out of things, and if you buy a few more,
You can last a bit longer. Yes. Okay, so you see loads of very simple ideas to put in place, just to be aware of that, to help. One person cannot save the rest of humanity, but if we put all our energies together, we can do great things together. Right, so it's time for us to conclude our service, and we are now on page 18. Please stand. Eternal God, whose dominion has embraced the universe, we ask your blessing for all the royal family, for those who govern our country, and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. May the Holy One who blessed our ancestors bless all our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who enter synagogues to pray and to give aid to those in need. May the Holy One, to whom all praise is due, hear their prayers and help them fulfill their aspirations for good. Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbors, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. Okay. אשיבנו, אשיבנו, אדוני אליך, ונשובה, ונשובה, חדש, חדש, ימינו כקדם. Good, yes, so it's a bit of a workout, huh? Thank you for your help. You can go back to the seats. And we are now going to say the Kaddish. So at the end of each service, we remember people who, from our families, friends, who passed away this time of the year in previous years. So on this Shabbat, we remember Barry Myers, the father of Judith Reitz and Jill Schnaverein. We remember Carl Zisman, the father of Stuart Zisman, and Eric Simons, father of Jill Hyman, and Leslie Simons, brother of Jill Hyman. Do you have any other name you'd like to remember before we say the Kaddish? No. Okay. Good. Page 22. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם לעלמי עלמיה, יתבהר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לאלה מן כל ביחתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל בני אדם, ואמרו אמן. I'm going to ask now Beiteinu to come up, and all of you who have a birthday, so Sam has a birthday, who has? Come up. Anyone from Beiteinu and anyone who had a birthday in November or an upcoming birthday in December. And I need a tall person. No. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. ישימך אלוהים, ישימך אלוהים, ישימך אלוהים, כפריים וכמנשה, ישימך אלוהים, ישימך אלוהים, ישימך אלוהים, כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה, יברך אדוני ושמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. So we have Sam and
Jonah.
And your brother. What's your brother's name? Jonah. Happy birthday to you, Sam and Jonah. Happy birthday to you, Sam and Jonah. Happy birthday to you, Sam and Jonah. Happy birthday to you. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom for those who came online. and happy birthday to you guys. And let's go into the NFJ hall for the kiddush.